to pursue a career in law because it gives me an opportunity to help people. When a client chooses us to represent them, they're entrusting us with a huge responsibility. It's our goal to exceed their expectations with our personalized service and to help them to achieve the best possible recovery to compensate them for their injuries.
That's where we come in. We come in and we solve that problem for them and really set them on the right track in order to try and get back to what their life was like before the accident happened.
Really, y'all been talking.
Damn. I think I hit a wrong button as we were getting going. I got to work on these buttons and things, man. Hey, guess what? It's Sunday. And word on the street is welcome to the Big Bone Yard.
Hell yeah.
That's what's up. Hey, you got myself. Big Bone 1%er, and the man with the plan, motherfucking Tate from A-Bait. What's up, Tate?
Same shit, different day. You know how it is. Getting ready for this trip next weekend. I'm gonna be in Pensacola. Might be broadcasting from there. You never know where I'm gonna pop up. I'm like a gypsy, man. Like, so you can't tie me down.
What's the deal in Pensacola for those folks that don't know?
There's a lot of deals in Pensacola. So how do I want to word it? There's some shit going down.
Right.
But I got a A-Bait brother that transferred up to Ohio that's coming down for a different event, and he's gonna be in Fort Walton Beach. I'm gonna go out there and hang out. I'll be up there all Memorial Day weekend. So if y'all see me, I always got Sharpies. Autographs are always available.
I'll tell you what, that's going to be mad cool though, man, because see, Fort Walton Beach, everywhere up in the Panhandle is just good.
Beautiful.
I mean, what was that? They used to do a show, a TV show on MTV called Floribama Shore. No kidding. And it was sort of like, the idea was sort of like Jersey Shore, except for like the Florida version of it. And for those folks that don't know, that part of the state of Florida is so far up north and to the west that it's damn near Alabama. In fact, it was Alabama back in the 1800s or whatever. So they call it Floribama. Or
I'll be honest. Everybody up there, they are not from Florida.
Yeah.
They're from LA. I don't mean Los Angeles. I don't mean Louisiana. That is fucking lower Alabama. Yep. Everybody's got a twang to their voice. Mm-hmm. I mean, let's face it, the most beautiful girls are up there. So
Alabama is, or that part of Florida or Alabama. Yeah, it's fucking great. And there's certain parts of that place where you'd swear you were in the Mediterranean. No kidding. There's parts of that Floribama shore that look like Greece, like with the very white buildings and everything like that. Let me see, folks checking in. Aztec, what's up, man? Aztec, Iron Horse, KSD. I think that's Frost in the house. Douche, formerly Douche Canoe. Good to see y'all. Always good to see y'all. Okay. But yeah, man. But this weekend, so matter of fact, forget the weekend. I'll go back. So last week, some of y'all know I was at the not the proc at doggone Incom where I got this. Hold on. Is there a button that says "Whoa"? Hold on, let me see. I don't know. Hold on, here you go. For those of y'all that can't handle it, damn, that's a cool ass button. Hold on, let me do it again. This is a very cool thing. This award is the 2024 Income. It's a 2024 Income Media Award, and it's in appreciation for improving the image of motorcycling worldwide. And it's very cool. It's got my name on it. The Big Boneyard podcast is on there. It's very cool. But the thing that I found out is that the Big Boneyard, it's an award. It has my name on it, but it also says the Big Boneyard. And so that's an award that this show, this podcast actually received. And I'm like all kinds of stoked about that. I thought it was cool before, but I especially found out it was cool when I found out Lorenzo Lamas got this award. Like showed up in person to get this. Jay freaking Leno, Jay Leno.
Damn.
Lorenzo Lamas. Who else was it? Peter Fonda, and who else was it?
It's not the same one Black Dragon got, was it?
Yes, Black Dragon got this award. I was just going to say Black Dragon. I was mentioning some of these doggone celebrities. Charlton Heston. So I'm in really good company. And freaking Sonny Barger got an award from them, not the media award, but it's in good company, man. So I say all that to say this: we must be doing something, some kind of right, because a lot of folks noticed at Incom there were people from all over the United States and Canada and a few other countries that were there, and I'd say most of them were familiar with this show. I was like, damn, that's very cool. So, but the thing is, so coming back, that was in Kansas City. So last week, Sunday, y'all know, got back. We actually, so that was Sunday, got back, and like the very next day or Tuesday, boom, I was off going to South Florida. I had some stuff to take care of in South Florida. So I got down there, piped it all the way down. On the way back, Anubis put me down, crashed and burned, not crashed and burned, but the bike went down on me. So I was stuck for the next 24 hours trying to get back from, anybody knows anything about Florida, y'all know everything. Florida's a big state. It takes forever just to get out of this state, let alone coming back from South Florida. But anyway,
well, hey, you got to reword that. The bike did not put you down. The bike broke down. You were fine.
Oh yeah. I was fine. A little irritated, a little pissed off, but nothing too bad. But
yeah.
So yeah, it's been a hell of a week, and then trying to unfuck that a little something. But yeah, it's been I've got a lot of good stuff going on with the COC. We're getting ready to do another election. So if you're in the COC, if you're watching and you're a COC member in my COC, hey, could you use your vote when it's time to vote? But all kinds of really good, cool shit has been going on, man. And I was obviously pounding the ground for a little bit, so I didn't get a chance to get back at everybody that we wanted to get back at. Which brings us to tonight's show. So tonight's show, let me see if I can get this for us.
Hold on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Can we do a disclaimer? What's the matter with you? Can't we do that?
I mean,
could you help us out with the disclaimer? Since you clearly made me forget it.
I made you forget it. So the thoughts and comments on this podcast are those of ours and ours alone. They do not
reflect.
There you go. Our specific organizations and or clubs or anybody else. We're talking on behalf of ourselves and ourselves alone. So if you got something that we say that you don't like, don't talk to anybody else about it. Talk to us about it.
That part. Very well said. So our words and our words alone. Like, for example, Murray Tondi said, "Good day, Big Bone and Tate." That's what's up. I'm thinking Murray might be doggone from down under. Because thank goodness we got some really cool ass people from down under, from Australia, that watch the show every week. And we're waiting on you to come for a roundtable. Bone. Yeah, okay. I'm a big fan of roundtable. We actually started. Who was that? Me, Black Dragon, Shaggy. And yeah,
I think Aqua's been on it at one point.
Yeah, and a matter of fact, Shaggy was with us at Incom. We had a hell of a great time. But who else? Hollywood, Carlos from Wild On. So
listen, the roundtable brought a lot of cool motherfuckers in my life. I would never have met you if it was not for the roundtable. Black Dragon brought a lot of cool people to my life. And I think roundtables are the way to go every once in a while, because you get a little bit of everybody's input on something. Not just me, not just you. Not just whoever the guest is. You got a broad spectrum of ideas and opinions. Right on. Oh yeah, and Risky, what's up, Risky? Risky is doing Bikers in the Beltway right now. He's live on location at the Capitol. Not like them guys in January, but he's at the Capitol doing biker shit, and we appreciate the hell out of it. We've been Naked Steve's out there too.
Oh yeah.
Our state VP.
Okay. Well, see, the thing about Bikers in the Beltway, that's where a bunch of bikers who actually got a couple of brain cells in their head, who really know what's important in our country by being good Americans and concerned Americans. It's not about the left or the right. It's about all of us Americans. And Risky is up there. You said Steve's up there. They're up there to represent bikers, but also to talk to our lawmakers. You know, they're up there talking to our lawmakers, trying to make a difference and letting them know what the hell is going on, like what we care about. You know, they're representing real well. So that's what's up. But Chris Fay, what's up, Chris Fay? Bad karma, what up, big boat?
Damn.
Well, yo, it might be. I probably did something to somebody once upon a time while I was in the Marine Corps. So yeah, I blew up your house. Allegedly, in the name of the United States government. That wasn't my fault. You know,
I was following orders.
Exactly, right? Hey, let me ask a trick question. Anybody out there, if you can answer quickly, because I'm going to ask Tate, and we're going to give Tate about 10 seconds to ponder the question, but I want y'all to answer the question.
Hey, last time you did that shit, it was a setup.
Yeah, this ain't bad. I promise. I learned my lesson. So, what is a clique? Don't answer now. Anybody out there that's listening, what is a clique?
Y'all can call in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can call in. Phone number is 310-870-8994. What is a clique? Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A bunch of punks. That's a good answer. All right. We'll take that one.
I can accept that one.
All right. Tate, what's a clique?
Well, I'm going to show how young I am here. A clique is a WWE group that was in the early 90s. I think we got a caller.
Yeah, that's Frost. Hey, Frost, hang on one second. Finish answering the question.
It's a WWE group that came around in the mid 90s. It was Razor Ramon, also known as Scott Hall, Big Daddy Diesel, also known as Kevin Nash, Shawn Michaels, which is the Heartbreak Kid, and Triple H. Anyways, so back on a serious subject, a clique would be a group of individuals typically found within an organization or a social setting, much like a school or a job, that they kind of stick to themselves. They're their own little group within a group. Typically, in my opinion, cliques start issues, but they could also help issues.
Okay. Now, Deuce says Moritunde, I thought that was a stereotype until I became friends with. Oh, he's talking about Australia. All right. Aztec said it's a group of rah-rahs. Deuce says, damn, Abe, tell us about the curtain call. And okay. There's
he knows about WWE apparently.
Okay, right on. Hey, Melissa Benson, aka Betty Boop, just said hey. So anyway, so a clique, according to Webster's, where the hell did it go? Okay, according to Webster's, a clique, it has an Australian, Canadian, UK, and US usage. It's a French derivative, and it means in the social science is a small group of individuals who interact with someone, with one another. Excuse me, they interact with one another and share similar interests rather than include others. Okay, that's the official Wikipedia. I guess that's not Webster's. That's the Wikipedia version of what the heck a clique is. Frost, what's up, man?
Frost, not much. What's up, bro?
Right on, man. Shit, just doing the damn thing, man. Pounding the ground and trying to keep from having a pound. No, you will. Trick question though. What is a clique?
So to me, it's a bunch of punks that end up ruining the club.
I have a tendency to agree.
They typically ruin, whether it's a club or not, any fucking group they're in.
Sorry, my Bluetooth kicked on. I didn't know if y'all got to finish hearing me or not.
Yeah, but, no, we were hearing you.
Yeah, so to me, it is a group of people who, this bro's doing this, that bro's doing that. I don't like this bro. We don't like this bro. Blah, blah, blah. We need to change this. We need to change that. But unfortunately, they're all doing it behind people's backs. They're not taking it to church. They're not being proper about it. They're trying to get people on their side. And most of the time, they probably don't even have a position of power. And it ends up causing a lot of turmoil within the club. So I don't believe in cliques, personally.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, thank you for that answer. Give us a few. We're going to delve into it a little bit. So, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to read basically tonight's description. So tonight's description is, where the hell is it? Okay, here we go. So tonight's description. And this is how this whole thing actually came about was I got a email from which I try to get to those. I really do. But anyway, so a viewer recently wrote, and we're going to change the names to protect the innocent or people that didn't know that, I don't want to use their name stuff. Anyway, the letter, what he wrote was, much love and respect, Big Bone 1%er. My name is blank with blank MC. My chapter has been here for almost 14 years. We're not a support club, but have a good relationship with the dominant that blessed us and all the other ones in our area. All right, he said one, so that makes me think he's from the West Coast, because on the West Coast, they don't say 1%ers, they say the ones. All right, anyway, I'm just guessing. I'm just doing a little. Anyway, they have a good relationship with the dominant that blessed us and all the other ones in our area. I've been the secretary for my chapter for just over 3 years. Me and my brothers watch your podcast from our clubhouse every week. So we respect your opinion about mostly everything doing with MC protocol. We don't always agree with your politics, but when it comes to bike shit, you're usually right. By the way, his spelling is atrocious. Spell you are. Anyway, I know that some stuff is different on the white side, but would like to hear what you have to say about us having a club inside our club. Our national bylaws don't have anything to say on the subject. We have 6 guys in my chapter that are always doing fucked up shit. They constantly break the bylaws and cause. They constantly break the bylaws. Where was it? And cause trouble. Whenever I try to call them out on it, nothing happens because the SA is one of them, and so is the president and the VP. They just let anyone get away with whatever as long as you are one of them. When a regular member so much as pays his dues late, they slam him with fines or bust him back down to a probate for a month or two. Get the picture? My question is, what can I do to fix this problem? Should I call our mother chapter or maybe just quit the club? I'd appreciate an answer soon because we have church next week. Thanks for your time, Biker X with such and such MC. So I wrote, damn, this is a lot to unpack, but we're going to try. Where are we? That's a lot to unpack, but we're going to try to cover it all on tonight's episode of the Big Boneyard. That's an awful lot. So I know it's a lot of folks out there, so we definitely want to hear what everybody has to say on that, because it's a hell of a good subject. But so let's get it cracking there, Tate. So first thing, what do you think, man? And I think you kind of said this. I can't remember whether you said it earlier or when, but you said that that a clique. I think you were saying that the frost is that a clique can mess up a number of different organizations, right?
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a fucking job, your homeowners association. It don't matter what it is. A church, a clique with inside of it's detrimental. But I have noticed in my experience, most of your cliques or most of your boards do tend to create a clique, especially if the board has served together for a long period of time.
Right.
Because they're like, okay, well, this is how we've always done things, and I don't give a fuck what, Bone says, because he just joined.
Right.
This is how we're doing things. He may have a great idea, but we've always done it this way. This is the way we're going to keep on doing it.
Right.
And it's going to happen because my board's going to back me because they're in the clique.
Okay, gotcha. So it don't matter how foolish it is or isn't. You're saying that they're just going to get down how they get down. So screw. So I wanted to go to this thing because this dude, he actually said a lot of stuff that I wanted to address. And by the way, if you have a question or comment on this or a concern, definitely give us a call, 310-870-8994. But while you're waiting or while you're watching, definitely, if you haven't done it, hit the like button, share this show with whomever. If you're watching from YouTube, make sure you do that. Hit the like button. Don't be shy to comment, say your piece, and share the show with everybody. But so a couple of things. So I'm going to deconstruct his letter. He said, This chapter's been there for almost 14 years. So that's not a new club. We're not a support club, but we have a good relationship with the with the dominant that blessed us and all the ones in our area, which means that they're more than likely, this is a
On the West
chapter.
Coast.
Yeah, definitely West Coast, because with the ones, that's West Coast. But I get the feeling, based on what he's saying, they're part of a national club. This is a chapter in a national club. He's been the secretary for his chapter for just over 3 years. Me and my brothers watch your podcast from our clubhouse every week, so we respect your opinion and mostly everything doing with MC Protocol, which means he's extremely intelligent. He's got to be a fucking genius because he's watching the show. Either that or he smokes a lot of weed. I'm not sure which, but
Hey,
I'm going to go with the first one. We don't always agree with your politics. All right, I take that back. Maybe he's not as smart as I said. But when it comes to your bike shit, you're usually right. He says he knows that stuff is different on the white side. Let's see. What did he say? I know that stuff is some stuff is different on the white side, but would like to hear what you have to say about us having a club inside our club. Okay, so I'm going to assume by that statement that they're a white club on the white side. So the dominant's probably a white 1%er club, a white dominant. So let's get into the meat of it. So you got 6 guys in his chapter that are always doing fucked up shit, constantly breaking the bylaws and causing trouble. So basically, the gang's all here. All of these guys are doing what they want to do. It sounds to me like,
sounds like there's already a clique.
Yeah, and he shared a lot of info. Now, while he didn't say how many are in his club, but those 6, with 3 of them being on the board, it makes you wonder. One, he didn't say, which he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have said how many people are in the club, but I do wonder, because if they got 6 guys who can make that much trouble, it makes me wonder, what are the other members doing? Like, can't they make some changes? That's just knee-jerk reaction stuff. I mean, sometimes it's not as easy as that. Maybe that's not the case. He went on to say, when a regular dues paying member, or when a regular member pays his dues late, they slam him with fines or bust him back to a probate for a month or 2. Get the picture? Yeah, I think we got the picture. That's a rough situation. And I guess ultimately what he was asking is, does he go to his mother chapter, like call somebody, say, hey, these guys are messing up? Or is it the situation where he's going to go and, just say, fuck it, I'm out, I quit, So Cigar Box Skinny says, what's up, Skinny? He says, bylaws are there to help with those problems. I hear you.
But the bylaws are only there to help with those problems if your SA is upholding the bylaws.
Right.
Which, if you revert back to his letter, the SA is not upholding those bylaws. Therefore,
right.
Your SA needs to be impeached, and you need a new SA.
Right. So it feels to me like there's a lot of questions that I would love to ask, but we can't, because what I mean? Well, like, we can't really get the answers to those questions because of the fact that that this is a letter. So we'll play devil's advocate for a little bit. So the SA is a piece of shit, like these other guys, and this is providing that this dude that wrote the letter ain't the problem. I mean,
very much so.
Yeah, assuming that what he's saying he's telling the truth about, right? Then first things first, you got a president, a VP, and a SA who's on bullshit. First thing is, you need somebody to co-sign that, somebody other than yourself, Biker X, right? You need somebody in the club. So you're going to have to, and I hate the club within a club, but for the integrity of your club, you're going to need to have some conversations with other people. If other people in your chapter feel the same way you do, then y'all need to make some decisions. Either A, you're going to get together and say, hey, what are we going to do about this clique, this group within our club, right? You got to figure that out. If you have the numbers, then you force a vote. If your bylaws permit it, then you force a vote of this one, the next one, and the next one, if you have to. Everybody's bylaws are set up a little different. Sometimes a president appoints his cabinet. Sometimes they're elected. So if the president is the one who appoints his cabinet, then you need to get a new president. So if you have the ability to do that, provided again that all these guys are messed up, right? You got to get a new president.
100%.
That's one option. The other option is if you think that this president is salvageable, then you got to, we used to call it request mass in the Marine Corps. That's where you say, hey, president, let me talk to you. Here's what my concerns are. Can you fix these things? And if the president basically gives you the hell no, get out of my face, and we're getting ready to get your ass next. Okay, well, you advise him that, hey, I need to go upstairs, need to talk to somebody else. And at that point, you go over his head and you talk to somebody there. Now you run the risk of being, again, provided that you don't have the support that you think you do in your chapter, you run the risk of getting that target put on you.
And another thing to keep in mind is a lot of people will tell you they have your back and they'll back you on something until that fucking Black Dragon's words, that me patch is in their face.
Yeah.
And that me patch turns them into, oh, well, I don't want nothing said or done to me, so I need to back them.
Right, right. And Douche Canoe just said something. He says, not my place to say this for any club, but my first thoughts are, one, what are the consequences for actions locally? And then two, are you going to be perceived as a bitch or a snitch for going up above? Well, that's a great question. See, you should always have the opportunity to answer your question, Douche. You should always have the opportunity to go upstairs if you absolutely need to. But the number one goal and focus should always be to try to resolve anything internally. It's just like the government. You don't want to invite them into your business because once they're in your business, you won't always like it. You know, you don't want to invite people in your business if you can avoid it. But if the situation is dire enough, you might have to go upstairs, provided that you follow the proper chain of command and follow whatever your bylaws dictate about that. So there's that. And Aztec said something that ain't nothing but the truth. Nobody likes the SA. Because guess what? If that SA is doing his job, they fucking hate you. You know, or at least some folks do. Because some folks don't respect the fact that he's got a job to do.
You wouldn't believe the number of chapters I show up to, and they're like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah, like, what's the problem? Who did what? You know, Cigar Box Skinny said, if I have a problem with that many people, usually I'm the one with the problem. Then I have to ask myself if I can accept the situation the way it is. If not, move on. So that's the thing.
Well, I would say that the other side of that is if it's already 6 people in that chapter that are in this clique, and you're wondering if you can have a club within a club, which is not a fucking good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good way to get somebody hurt. How big's the area that your chapter maintains?
Right.
Maybe you need to split the chapter and open up a secondary chapter close by of the people that think that the shit's not going correctly.
Right. So what are the consequences of good, bad, or indifferent? What's the best thing that can happen out of a club within a club?
Well, the best way to put it is united we stand, divided we fall.
Gotcha.
And
so that's the division right there, isn't it?
That's not even a club. That's at the end of the day, my organization, clubs, everything, we're a business. We can say we're not in it to make money, but we are.
Right.
And that being said, if the people making the business decisions and the people doing the business aren't seeing eye to eye, there's going to be an issue and that business is going to fail.
Right. So approach it like a business. So, all right. So the club within a club, if anything, should possibly be the board, because they have to have board meetings, and I'm not saying they got a special secret handshake or nothing like that, but the board
might.
Say they might. But the idea of the board is because those are either elected or appointed individuals who are supposed to have the best interests of the entire club at heart, and they all have a job to do, like the secretary, the treasurer, the business manager, and so the president, vice president, SA. Everybody's got a job to do. And those people have to interact, which is a little bit different than a club within a club. Because a club within a club is doing their own thing. They've got their own agenda. They've got the. So what's the worst thing? What would you say the worst thing is about the club within a club?
The club within a club, maybe not necessarily affecting the club as a whole, depending on how big the club is now. If you're like a national club, it might not affect it as much as if you're just a local. Like I got 3-4 chapters in my state, but I'll say a chapter within a chapter, that chapter is going to fail. If that chapter is constantly fighting over bullshit all the time and no, there's two different parties and neither party can agree, by all means, look at our government. Two different parties, neither party can agree, and it seems like no matter who's in office, we have issues.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when we see, like in the, without going down that rabbit hole, thank you very much for pointing me in that direction. But the thing is, I say this all the time: Democrats and Republicans are two wings of the same bird. You know, they get together behind closed doors and high five each other for talking shit about Americans. And did you see when I cussed you out? That was great. When I called you and so, they're high fiving. But on the floor of the state senate or the House of Representatives or something, man, they're going at it. And then all of us dummies, we take sides, the left and the right. The Democrats think the Republicans are evil, and the Republicans think the Democrats are a bunch of snowflakes. Meanwhile, the people that are making us think this are using, you know, the lamestream media, Fox News and all this stuff to push out a narrative that the only thing they care about, a lot of them, the only thing they're worried about is whether or not the check is going to bounce that they got from some special interest group like the insurance group or the petroleum company or whoever it is that they're really working for. And meanwhile, we don't know no damn better. So we're screaming and hollering at each other. You know, we forgot the part about where we're supposed to be Americans and stuff. We kind of forgot that because we're too busy buying into their bullshit. But so, yeah, club within a club. In the case of the government, same thing. Same thing. Except for they do it a little better than most MCs, I imagine. Deuce says, Big Bone 1%er, there's an old saying, every bird of prey has a left wing and a right wing. Ooh, oh, boy. Okay. All right. That's deep. I might have to throw that into my repertoire of bullshit that I say. Cigar Box Skinny said, there seems to be so many scenarios to properly assess this. Yeah, I mean, that's a deep question. Not that we don't have answers. I think the answer is, if we were to do like the short version of it, I think the short version is like this. Thing number one, see who else agrees with you or feels the same way. Figure out how many of those folks there are. And if you need to, for the benefit, but start with some personal inventory. Make sure that you're not on bullshit. Because if you're the guy that really is the problem, for the benefit of your club, figure that out. You know, like you got to figure that out, because if you love your club, you're going to do what's in the best interest of your club. If you love yourself and your buddies better, well, you're going to make decisions based on that's my boy. So you're going to be just like them, just like the guys you're talking about. So make sure your decisions are based on the mutual benefit of everybody in that club and the flag that you fly, the club that you represent. Because it's not just your chapter. Because, like, you know, when you go out, like you go out and ride the bike night or whatever like that, you ever seen a club or some organ? It don't even have to be a club. It could be a RC. It could be an MRO. But everybody, hey, we know who you are. And you got that one guy who's acting real stupid, getting drunk, doing something stupid. They're not going to say, look at that one stupid guy. They're going to say, look at those guys. Look at those A-bait guys, or look at that particular MC, or look at those guys.
Look how they let their people act.
Yeah, yeah. And see, one of the things that I always thought was real cool about being on the set was people on the set, clubs, organizations, we police ourselves. That was always a really cool thing. It's like when you go certain places, hey, I remember certain businesses, certain bars you go to, they loved it when the bikers came in, especially clubs and organizations where they could say, I know who those guys are. Those guys are all such and such, right? They like that because if something went down, they know they could go to the boss of that organization and say, hey, man, what about such and such? And he'd go, hey, no problems. I'll take care of that. Why? Because they want to come back next week. They want to have a good time. Especially if they figure that's a place that they go to all the time. Hey, they want a good relationship
I
there.
was just gonna say we got a local spot here that we use for a lot of events. We do our bike night there. We actually have a memorial table for any of our fallen members.
Yeah.
That's at this specific establishment,
Mhm.
and we have free reign over that establishment. Anything's going on that we don't like, we're allowed to throw people out.
Yeah.
And there was actually a situation a couple months ago, a bike night with myself. Dude comes up to me and asked me if I wanted blow, and I was like, "What? Like what? What the fuck did you just say?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Do you want to do some blow?" And I was like, "Dude, first off, I ain't gonna mention names. The owner of this establishment is
Yeah.
completely against that.
Yeah.
Second of all, you need to get the fuck out of here." And I texted the owner. I was like, "Hey, this is what's going on. If I overstep my bounds, let me know." And she's like, "No, y'all run that bar. Okay, we'll take care of it.
There you
We
go.
ain't had an issue with anybody since. We tell somebody to leave, they leave."
See,
And
on the
that's
set,
coming from us. And
yeah.
we're not even a fucking club.
Yeah. Well, see, you have no, I won't say every club, but a lot of clubs, historically speaking, had what was referred to as a home bar, because you got your clubhouse. A lot of clubs have their clubhouse, but then they had that place that we go to. Everybody knows that bar belongs to so and so. Doesn't mean we paid for it. It means that's where we go. That's where we patronize. We know the people there. The people there know us. We can go there, hang out, have a good time, and maybe act a fool, not in a bad way, but act a fool, cut loose, and everything is fine. But guess what? Nobody's going to come there. They're not going to tear the place apart. They're not going to do something stupid. They're not going to get people busted or nothing else. Because guess what? It's like you got 45 people that are all on security. I'm being facetious, but you know what I mean? It's like, hey, this is our place. You ain't going to come here and fuck it up. And a lot of owners, owners of these bars and such, they love that. I remember years ago in my old club, I used to get invites all the time. Hey, you guys coming through tonight? Y'all coming through on Thursday, such and such and such? Come on through. We got you. And they'd give me free food and free drinks all night long just to show up and bring the club with me, give everybody discounts and stuff like this, constantly giving out free drinks and all this kind of stuff. Why? Because they wanted us there. They didn't have to pay for security. There was a whole bunch of people that was there.
They
Other
feel
people
safe.
who dig the club. Yeah, people felt safe and they knew they were going to have a good time. And but what happens, I've seen the opposite of that. Whereas clubs go to a place, maybe they're not as familiar, they go show their ass. There's no home club there. And with no home club there, they're going to show their ass. The owner, if there's a problem, he's calling the police. He's not going to go, hey, where's the boss? I don't know those guys. I don't know whether they're good, bad,
Yep.
or killers or whatever. Nobody has any
Allegedly.
idea. And like Aztec saying, it's a respect thing for sure. Yeah, absolutely. It's a respect thing. So what about this? So you got this club within a club. What if so? By the way, speaking of one thing too, the way that works is if you're a member of the club within a club, and you get on the outs with them, guess what? They're gonna do you the same way. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
yes.
The first time you sneeze, they're gonna snatch that patch. They're gonna make you a probate or possibly drum you the hell up out of the club, because for some reason it's not about loyalty to the club, it's about the popularity contest. That's one of the things that happens with a club within a club. Doesn't have anything to do with loyalty to that patch.
And
And
actually, I would even say it's not necessarily a club within a club. A lot of people, once they get to, like in our organization, we call it the board, that board position. And it doesn't matter what the board position is. You could be the guy that does my flyers. You have
right,
that title and you start acting some type of way just because, oh, now I'm better than that guy because that guy is just a regular member.
right, right,
And a lot of people, and this may be part of his issue, is the president, the VP, the SA. Those are the three toughest jobs to have
yeah. If
because,
you're doing it right,
well,
if
yeah,
you're doing it right,
because let me tell you what, I got a lot of people that don't like me anymore.
mm,
Uh, and I hold two of those positions, one on
yeah,
a chapter level, one on a state level. And
yeah,
I've held all three of those positions.
yeah,
a lot of people see it as, you're at that level, what you say goes, so you're going to do it one way or another. And yeah, you're going to have your followers and certain people you treat one way or another. Well, a lot of people have followers and people they treat one way or another because they know come election time,
Yeah.
that's their votes, just like politicians.
Yeah.
So don't get it twisted. Bikers are freaking politicians because
Hey.
everybody wants that board position.
I remember there was this one president many years ago, and he was known to not ride his motorcycle very much. We'd show up to places. This is years ago. We'd show up, and this guy was constantly in a pickup truck, like all the time, pickup truck. And
he's a president.
He was a club president. We'd go out of state.
How are you leading anybody in a pickup truck? You're supposed to be in the back of the pack in a cage, man.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing was, check this out though. Once it got about 5-6 weeks from 5 or 6 weeks from time for election, man, you couldn't get this guy off of his motorcycle. I mean, every other day he was calling, "I'm riding here, I'm riding there, I'm riding here, I'm riding there."
Yeah, how many people met up with him though? He was riding in his pickup truck.
No, folks, I'm saying he started riding his motorcycle about 5 or 6 weeks before election time. Man, he's on his bike riding summer everywhere. He goes, "Oh, it's a new day. I'm riding now. I got a new bike and I'm riding. I'm a rider. Like, what the hell? And then, of course, the election came and went. He won the election. No, wait. He won the election because of some silliness that took place. So he won the election by default, but he thought he was going to have to actually run for the position. But as it turned out, so he was made president again. And when that happened, he was right back in that pickup truck. I'm like, what the hell? So
I can't speak on this because I've never been in a club, but MC Motorcycle Club, not TC Truck Club, Motorcycle Club, 2 wheels, not 4. It ain't supposed to have doors.
Well, what I was doing, I was piggybacking on the statement that you made as far as those jobs being tough jobs, because what I know, I've been a president, a VP, so I've been every job except for road captain. I've had every job in a club that there is to have, and I can tell you, if you're doing it right,
because you can't show up on time.
See, I thought we agreed we weren't going to do that. Okay, all right, okay, I got you. Hey, let me ask you a question. No, never mind. Hey, I'll tell you what.
Started off with that shit, so we'll talk about that later.
All right. Well, look, I'll tell you like this. If you're a chapter president, even if you're not a good chapter president, man, that job is going to keep you hopping. Oh, yeah. You're going to get a lot of phone calls at all hours of the day and night and you're going to be dealing with stuff that you never wanted to deal with, never thought you'd deal with, and some stuff you ain't never even heard of before. You're like, what the hell? And you're going to be talking to folks about stuff that's going on in other places. And what the hell does that got to do with me or us? Right? You get real. So if you combine that with a guy who's kind of like a cliquish piece of shit, man, now this just the recipe for disaster, because a president's job is a tough one, right? Especially if you're doing it right. VP, same difference, because a proper VP is dealing with the internal everything. And believe it or not, MCs, every individual is a individual. Even though, hey, you guys might move alike, look alike, and everything else alike, but guess what? Behind closed doors, every one of those individuals has different personality traits, different issues, different all kinds of stuff, 100%. Right? Different talents that they bring to the table and different weaknesses that you got to compensate for. And the VP gets all of that, right? The sergeant at arms, well, he's just fucked anyway. You know, he can kiss a certain amount of friendships goodbye because he's the guy. If he's doing his job right, yeah, they're going to hate him.
He's the asshole.
Even the freaking treasurer, because let one penny be off, right? Let one penny be off. Or somebody's not paying something, or, you know, especially if you're a club and you counting your pennies because you got some kind of financial goal, and his job is to make sure that the numbers come out right and that this is paid for, that's paid for, but he can't get those guys to do what they're supposed to. Man, that's a headache. It's hard enough running your own household. Now you got to run like a whole club's money, you know. And remember, you can't mess the money up because you're messing up everybody's money if you mess it up, you know. So that's a whole thing. Pastor Troy, good to see you tonight. But you know, so I guess the moral to the story is that there's no one easy answer for something like this. But if your club's important to you, then you got to exercise. You might have to go down a couple of 3 different rabbit holes to find out which is best for you. One, take inventory. Start with taking inventory of yourself and figure out, are you the actual problem? Because if you are, then you got bigger things to worry about. You got to figure out how to repair some relationships and to repair the reputation that you might have going on right now. If you think they're out to get you, but you're actually the problem, you know, so fix that. That's thing number one. If it turns out that it's really not you and you got a bunch of other guys who feel the same way, then you got to start doing math. Like how many of us are there that feel this way? And then what, if anything, are we going to do about it? I'd start with conversation. Like, what, if anything, can we do to fix this? Let's have a conversation with the number 1, 2, 3, or whomever else it is. And if the conversation will fix it, great. That's a winner for everybody. If not, then you have that decision to, do we go upstairs or not? I'm not a big fan of that, but I would never say, don't ever do that, because you ain't snitching. If you love your club and you want your club to be better, and your chapter is a part of the club, it sounds like y'all got more than one chapter, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
It's necessary to maintain the integrity of your club.
And I would say every member's job is to make sure that club succeeds, club organization, whatever it is. And once you're on that board, everybody thinks it's all like roses and fine wine, and it's not. Your life gets hectic because at that point, your job is to make sure you do whatever is in the best interest of that club. And it may not necessarily be what's in the best interest of your personal life at that point in time, but it's your best interest of the organization as a whole and to make that organization succeed. I can't tell you the number of times where I put family shit aside to deal with ABATE.
No, look, I feel you, man. It's like there was a meme that I saw on Facebook or something like that, and it was this guy. He's in the kitchen. It was from the movie La Bamba, where I forgot the guy's name, but the brother in La Bamba.
Before my time.
Okay. Anyway, so Google a movie called La Bamba and go cast of and whoever the hell the brother was. Isai Morales. The guy's name is Isai Morales.
Was it in color?
Yeah, it was in color.
Technicolor?
It was in real color. It was a movie about Jimmy. What's his name? Jimmy Valens. They got
La Bamba. Yeah, Jimmy Valens, the one that died in the plane crash with Buddy Holly.
La Bamba, pues necesite de poco, mi gracias. Hey, you didn't know I could do that, right? But anyway, so La Bamba, the brother, he's in the kitchen making this beautiful bunch of food for his girlfriend. And he was actually in the movie, he was a biker. He was a Mexican biker guy. Anyway, he's in the kitchen, but the caption read, like, let me feed this bitch this food right now because she's going to flip her shit as soon as she finds out I got another run this weekend, you know? But the thing is, yeah, that's a fact. But you know, so yeah, by the way, shout out to the ladies that are holding this down.
Amen.
That's the thing, man. You know, because that's the thing. Deuce says Richie Valens, Lou Diamond Phillips. That's who it was. You're right. It was Lou Diamond Phillips that played Richie Valens. But the thing is, though, is that this club life is very demanding, and it doesn't mean that it has to be bad. There's a lot of, there's a reason. Think of it this way: as much as we come on here and we bitch, moan, and complain about here's the problem this and the problem this week and the problem the other week, the truth of the matter is the reason that we do this all the time is because we fucking love it. You know, there's a payoff. Everything that anybody does, if y'all don't remember shit else I say, remember this. There's 2 things that motivate everybody in this motorcycle community. It's either hope of gain or fear of loss. And that applies to pretty much everything. Hope of gain or fear of loss. What do you mean by that, Big Bone? Well, hope of gain. Well, why would I go and join an organization and have a bunch of rules that I didn't have yesterday and go to a bunch of places that I wasn't going to go yesterday and all this other stuff? Why would I do that? Well, what is the gain? Well, the gain is I'm going to get to hang out with some good folks, have an extended family, some guys that are going to become my brothers. I mean, like through thick and thin type brothers, right? Because folks have seen that. I've had it. Anybody who's been a part of an organization like this, yeah, hope of gain of brotherhood, camaraderie, like the fraternal feeling that just doesn't exist in a lot of places. Being able to let your hair down, be who the hell you actually are without people judging you, and like, and it's like I used to say all the time, the set, the MC is where men are men and women are glad about it. You
Oh,
don't got
yeah.
to listen to a bunch of Me Too stuff. You can be as, I'm being facetious when I talk about toxic masculinity, but for real, where men are men. You ain't gonna see a bunch of skinny jeans and man buns and a bunch of guys squeaking about their feelings all the fucking time. You're gonna have guys being guys, and women dig that, right? So that's a payoff. That's the hope of gain. I want to gain that in my life. What's the fear of loss? Fear of loss is, damn, I'm in this club. I get all of that. If I'm not in this club, I don't get none of that no more. So that's a fear of loss. So just for example, or it might be, what are you going to lose by not being in this club? I'm going to lose my youth. I'm going to lose my opportunity to enjoy myself. I'm going to lose the opportunity to whatever the fuck it is. But so that's what happens with the whole, why do people get into clubs, and why would somebody just not say, fuck it? You know what? This is bullshit. I don't like these guys, are, the club within a club, and I don't like the way they think. I'll just quit. And that's kind of why people don't quit, So if that makes any sense to anybody. Hey, what you call it? Aztec said I'm a secret cholo. Yeah, I need to go out
Damn.
there and get me a street glide, not a street glide, a doggone, get me a Road King.
Road King with the fishtails
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the eight.
yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, get that joint choloed out a little bit. Aztec
Looking
said.
like a Mayan.
Yeah, right, right, exactly, right.
We'll start calling you Easy.
Yo, all right. Oh, hold on, we got a little beepy thing there. All right, let me shut up, machine. But anyway, hold on. What's this? Clinton Lund said, "Hey, all, good to be with you all live while I wrench on the bike." Okay, yeah, get that thing working, and when you finish, call me so you can come and unfuck Anubis. That's my Harley. It needs some attention. Wanted to go acting a damn fool on my way back from Miami the other day. Dude says, absolutely, Aztec cruising. He goes, I'm the problem until I can convince myself I'm not doing anything wrong. Only after that is done will I look at other folks. And that's kind of like the rule here. Personal inventory, check out your own shit. Make sure that you're moving correctly for the benefit of your club, right? And if you are, because guess what? That's one thing though, being in a club. So a couple of things. One, it's just a hedonistic, selfish lifestyle, because we spend crazy amounts of money on the motorcycles. We go out, we do things, we have all the fun in the whole wide world that we want to have, and sometimes at the detriment of our families, because we got to go. And when we go, yeah, we got to go, but we're going to try to have a good time while we're there. Even though the wife and the kids are still at home if you got them. So there's that. So it's kind of selfish, right? But at the same time, it's selfless at the same time, because you do so much for your club. If you're doing it right, you put your club in front of a lot of other stuff. I ain't saying everything. Like, you gotta, pay your rent, and give your wife attention, and kiss the kids on the forehead, or whatever it is that you do. Kick the dog. You got to do all that, right? But a lot of times the club goes in front of a lot of stuff. Again, if you're doing it right, and it depends on the type of club and all that.
And to be honest, sometimes the relationship you may or may not be in may not be meant for that lifestyle.
Yeah.
There's plenty of women out there that are right for this lifestyle just because maybe they grew up around it. Maybe, their parent or somebody was involved, or maybe they got friends they went to school with that are involved. So they understand the type of dedication it takes, and that you're not going to be home all the time. You're not going to be able to go to every fucking family event. Sometimes maybe you got to rethink your life based on what the fuck's going on. You got to choose what's more important to you. And at the end of the day, who's going to have your back when everything's said and done?
Right. That's why It was damn. I hate to quote this, but SOA, Sons of Anarchy, they had this thing.
Damn.
You know what I'm going to say, right? But there was this one episode, and I've seen it on memes and everything else. But it's like this little clip where what's her face, the mother, Gemma.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said this thing to her son's girlfriend,
Tara.
Yeah, damn, you watch. Okay, yeah, Tara. So she says to her, if you love the man, you gotta if you love the man, you gotta learn to love the club. I was like, damn, that's some real shit.
Yeah.
It's true because the club can piss old lady. The club she can be madder at the club than he is because she's watching him deal with whatever he's got to deal with and go all these places and do all of this stuff
And feeling abandoned at the same time because he's not with her.
So an old lady can get in her feelings behind the damn club, and you got to watch that too because next thing you know she's in your ear telling you fuck them guys, fuck that club, fuck that patch, and that's why I'm telling you I've said this for years. I'm like, hey, don't come at me with that. I don't want to hear it. My club is my club. I'm not quitting my club. Years I've said this. It's like when like years ago. I'd say, we can get along all day long. Just don't get in between me and my club. People, oh, how dare you? Yep, I said it like a minute, And when if you think I'll negotiate and compromise on a whole lot of shit, not that.
Yeah.
Because that's just I'm just set up like that. That's that diamond life, if you will.
Hey, it ain't just that diamond life. Believe me.
Yeah, if you really about this shit, hell yeah. If you are a legit solid motherfucker, then you don't go flip flopping back and forth. If you're in it to win it. If you're not, then don't get in it.
Oh yeah.
Like we say, if it's not in your heart, don't put it on your back.
A fucking man, and I try to preach that to fucking anybody that tries to get. You want to get involved with A-Bait, great. You want to get involved in running shit with A-Bait. If it's not in your heart, don't put it on your back because it'll ruin you.
Yeah, facts. And you speak with a great amount of credibility because you're basically a legacy. You know what I mean?
Okay.
A lot of folks, like there's some new people coming into A-Bait. All right, I'll say this and then wrap up. But there's some new people that are coming into A-Bait, and I was having it's about 6 new people, and I've had conversation with most of them, and it's the same exact conversation. I'm like, hey, you're not, and a few of these people are. Out of the 6, half of them are with an existing MC. So with them, it's easy. Those other 3 folks, not so much. And those are the ones that I kind of focused on. Like, hey, look, no, A-Bait is not a club per se, not like that. But your level of dedication, if you intend on being involved, because A-Bait is about making changes and improving the lives and the situation of bikers throughout the state and throughout the country. So that's a big task, right? So if you don't want to be involved, if you just want to donate money, that is cool. I am never going to tell you not to donate money to A-Bait. But if you're saying you want to be involved, that's a different conversation. And
100%.
I tell everybody, hey, think about it. Because and the flip side of the coin is, why do people get involved with A-Bait? A lot of people, it's not about the little $20 it takes to get in or the $4,000 of insurance that they get and all that kind of stuff, which all that is cool. A lot of people get into it for the freaking parties because it's a lot of fun. There's one coming up on June the 8th. The Boneyard chapter is actually hosting a state meeting. And I think the flyers all over the internet. If not, we'll make sure that it is. But other than that, man, it's Sunday, and we've been at it for an hour and 24 seconds. So this is the part where we're going to kick ourselves off and get a bunch of good stuff going on for the week so we can tell you all about it in about, how many, 6-7 days, something like that?
6-7 days, yeah.
Let's call it an even 7.
Broadcast from Pensacola, cool.
Okay, let's call it 7. We might have speaking of which, we got a little surprise that we should be rolling out for you by next week as well. I ain't going to tell you about it. We'll just do it. But in the meantime, y'all, everybody, Douche, Aztec, Doggone, Frost, Ghost Eagle, what's up, baby? Ghost Eagle, and everybody that's been here, man. Thank y'all for joining us tonight. Doggone Betty Boop, we see you there. But look, everybody, thanks for joining us. Before you sign off tonight, hit the like button, hit the share button, share this show with everybody, tell folks about it. If they're not watching, they should be. I never like them if they don't watch it, unless of course they're going to start, that's always cool. But Tate, what if anything you got to say to the nice folks before we leave?
Don't start a clique with inside your organization unless you want to kill it. Go back to WWE, look at the NWO. The NWO killed the WWE. Don't start a clique. Be true to your bylaws. If your SA isn't enforcing the bylaws, get rid of that sorry piece of shit.
That part. Well, hey, with that, we're going to tell y'all have a fantastic night. Thanks for jumping on your shit and riding through to the Big Boneyard tonight. I'm Big Bone 1%er. That's Tate from Abate. Y'all have a fantastic night.
Welcome to the Big Boneyard. Enter at your own risk.
Career in law because it gives me an opportunity to help people. When a client chooses us to represent them, they're entrusting us with a huge responsibility. It's our goal to exceed their expectations with our personalized service and to help them to achieve the best possible recovery to compensate them for their injuries.
That's where we come in. We come in and we solve that problem for them and really set them on the right track in order to try and get back to what their life was like before the accident happened.